roughly the same time frame as Mossadegh in Iran, we had Arbenz of Guatemala become elected president of Guatemala. And Arbenz had run on a ticket that said, I'm going to introduce land reform, no longer Dole and Chiquita, which had different names at that time. United Fruit became Chiquita. No longer are they going to own all the land of this country and be able to put my people into essential servitude to pick bananas for them and pineapples and other fruits. We're going to change those policies so that the people of my country, Guatemala, are able to have self-determination and live in pride and fair wages. We don't want to kick these companies out, but we want to rein them in. And so once he's elected, he begins to implement these policies. Well, obviously, those companies were very unhappy with this, and they had a lot of power with the CIA. They launched a huge public relations campaign in the United States saying that Arbenz was a communist, that he was a danger to the United States, which of course was absurd. To make a long story short, they set it up so that the CIA went in and attacked Guatemala and took out Arbenz and replaced him with a dictatorship that was very pro-U.S. corporations.
Many of the Central and South American foot soldiers and commanders during this time were graduates of the School of the Americas. For 40 years following the end of World War II, the School of the Americas trained tens of thousands of Central and South Americans in counterinsurgency warfare. Throughout the region, well-trained and well-armed militaries were at the call of the CIA's hand-selected puppet leaders, and allegations of human rights abuses were abundant. During the 60s alone, the CIA staged the failed military action in Cuba, which would become known as the Bay of Pigs, and overthrow the democratically elected government of Brazil, which was replaced with the bloodthirsty General Castillo Branco. His CIA-trained death squads were responsible for thousands of deaths and tortures, all in the name of fighting communism. Many of those communists, however, would prove to be nothing more than Branco's political opponents. In 1973, when the democratically elected Chilean president, Salvador Allende, nationalized American-owned business interests, he was deposed in a coup d'etat staged by the CIA. He was replaced by General Augusto Pinochet, a brutal man who tortured and murdered thousands of his own countrymen in a crackdown on labor leaders, the political left, and anyone who would interfere with American business interests. The American-backed president of Panama, Manuel Noriega, a School of the Americas success story, had been on the CIA payroll and knowingly trafficking in drugs since 1966. When he became too independent, however, he had to go. In 1989, President George H.W. Bush ordered American forces to Panama to remove Noriega and bring him to justice. In the process, thousands of Panamanian citizens were killed and buried in mass graves by the American forces. In 1990, Haiti went to the polls and democratically elected Jean-Bertrand Aristide president. This left-wing Catholic priest was not the candidate that the George H.W. Bush White House had in mind for the presidency, and 8 months later, Aristide was kidnapped by U.S. soldiers who told him that, in order to save his life, they must remove him from the country. It proved to be a one-way trip.